Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Well, I don't have a bingo, W and duplicate I's. How can I sort this rack out? Well, I certainly want to play off a W and an I. And I can do that with where and with iwi. Can I play off the M with W? I don't think so. Is this better than where? Where would leave M-I-N. That does feel a little better. Let me play this. Wow, I draw the other W and a B to go with it. So again, no bingo here, but I do have a couple of vowels, so should be fairly straightforward to play through this. I have mini bar through the I. I've got where again on my rack. Wow, I've drawn another R as well as another W. I have bore, B-A-W-R, which are the 4 tiles I drew. Just one premium square next to a vowel. Now opponent struggling with vowels, which is fine. What do I have? Where only takes an S. I'm looking at this double letter square between the I's. My M and my B can go there. Interesting, I can do this. Ordinarily, I would like to play off the W. However, I can't do that in column 9. And this rack leave does look quite reasonable, and Mib is constricting the board, so not providing an easy scoring spot for opponent. Fiery only takes an S. Well, close to a bingo, but there isn't one here. Very few floaters to consider. BI takes an O in front. But I'm quite grateful for the W. It means I've got a scoring tile on my rack. And EW is good. So I've got twin in column 11 and twain. And 1 at the top of column 11. Either of which is going to leave, or any of which is going to leave a decent rack leave. Could there be an 8 with the right floater? Not seeing anything with a G, and I'm considering an ING ending. Slightly light on vowels. Mob takes an E and an S. Not seeing anything with a B or a W. So opponent's taken out one spot that I had under consideration. So I've still got 1 at the top. MIN, not good. What am I thinking of? Okay, so let me consider column 12. I don't have anything to go after EM. So what I can do is this, win for 25, decent rack leave. It is setting up a decent lane in row N because win takes a lot of hooks, but if opponent plays there, I've got access to row O. And that's 25. An alternative would be winner 21, and not providing that really helpful row N possibility. However, this is leaving alone a good scoring spot in column 12 and a worse rack leave, so I'm going back to win for 25. And I have urinant. Does that play anywhere? Well, it does because of out, but that may not stay available. And win also takes an N, so at the moment I've got it in 2 spots, both of which may be blocked. And this is, fantastic, column 13 remains available, 48 for opponent. That's slightly painful. This is a rack which at first sight looks like it may make untrain, but untrain isn't good. It is only urinant. Where takes nothing in front. I don't have anything with the W. Urinant doesn't take an S. Do I have anything in row O? Car is good. Un is good. But urinant is the only bingo here. So urinant for 65. And I draw the Z, which is, or can be, a good scoring tile. Opponent likely to play in row O now. What do I have in row H? Nothing which uses the Z. I've got Ouzo on my rack, which does play in column 12. That would leave a decent rack leave of CEL, as well as getting rid of the U with the Z. I also have Ouzo in row G and in row O, should that remain available. Kudos doesn't take anything after it. Wind takes S and Y. Do I have anything bottom right? Wow, Ouzo remains available. Fantastic, and only 25 points for opponent. I guess they may simply not have had an A. Well, they do have an A. Okay, we'll see later what the rack was, but this is Ouzo for 45. Pretty good. Looks close to a bingo. Do I have one? Not immediately seeing. Centile. And that plays row I. Does it play anywhere else? Had takes. Wow, I wonder if opponent kept a 4-letter powerhouse because had takes a C and an S in front. Centile doesn't play in row D. But surely opponent unlikely to block rows I and G. Okay, so great, just 10 points for opponent. Time to give opponent the opportunity for a 9-timer triple. And I think this minimises opponent's likelihood of making such a play, as opposed to row I. Just wondering about this E below the triple letter square. If I play in row I, it'll be above a triple letter square. X still to come, and that can't play above this E, so I think this is better. Wow, pretty good pick. Jolly close to a bingo. Do I have one? Plenty of floaters to consider. And I've got a 130-point lead. Fantastic. It's quite a few vowels here. What about the C? Not seeing anything. E, no. N. Onloader? I don't feel great about that, but I don't feel terrible about it. It might be good. Onloader. And opponent changes. Well, let me not worry about onloader. Let me just check it. Not good. So T. Wow, such bingo-y tiles. This will be massively high probability. Not seeing anything with the I. Not seeing a 7. Taj takes nothing. Well, I'm not seeing a bingo. Great shame if there is one and I'm overlooking it. So I've got road as a component part. Let me come back to the C. I was expecting opponent to take that out. I've got the co prefix. No. I would need another A for carload. EW could end where? Nope. Okay, so what do I play here? Co-lead gets the D doubled. Don't think I can do much better than that. Well, I don't want to set up this triple letter square for the X. That's surely avoidable. What about Dolce? 30 points, keeping a vowel-heavy rack. What about cruelled? Ah, well, what about decolour? No, all of these plays stick an O next to this triple letter square. Cruel, that's the anagram well, that does the same. Gosh. This is a very much a gambling move if you stick an O next to this triple letter square. If opponent doesn't have an X, that's the end of it, and you may have it. So it is a volatile play, but I have a 130-point lead. 12 minutes on my clock. Surely there's a play here which doesn't introduce that volatility. However, I note that there is this triple letter square above the E. So although the X can't go there, there are plenty of other tiles which can, like the F and the Y. And opponent has run away. They've quit, and the game has been adjudicated in my favour. The final score, 119 to opponent, 243 to me, a winning margin of 124, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. And before we do that, I should just say that having considered various options in column 1, while opponent was away, I almost immediately spotted that cooled was a decent play, placing an L next to this triple letter square and getting the D doubled, and a rack leave of AR. But I did not have the opportunity of playing that. So it was me to go first. Myron, yeah, definitely worth considering. The W isn't the worst tile in the world, but I think where is fine as well. Opponent plays fiery, and I play mib for 27, which looks fine. Opponent plays mob. K12, win. Oh, interesting. What do I do here? I play win. I could have played the N on the end, or even winner for 31. I considered winner at the top. And although winner does open row O, it covers the double letter square, so would definitely have been a decent candidate play. Now, as it is, opponent is able to get value from the K and 48 points. But I have my bingo, and I take a 50-point lead. Opponent with the blank, wow. Plays had. Yeah, and now I get to play the Z in the bottom row for 45. Opponent with both blanks, good grief. Plays Taj. I have Centile. Licenti also playable for 2 more points. And here we go. This is where opponent quit with 2 blanks on their rack. What could they have played? Well, no bingo. No bingo. However, could have got 63 burning both blanks. Interesting. Nothing more than 36 by burning just 1. And Carnick's difficult to see, so not an easy rack to consider. However, opponent did quit with both blanks, which is frustrating. So that's the end of that game. Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Wow, what a rack. I've got the blank. Do I have a bingo? Well, nothing has jumped to mind. Let me have a quick squiz through the alphabet and see if something does. Shame to miss a bingo if there is one here. But I'm not optimistic. No. E Demata through another E. Well, there could be something here. I don't want to dismiss it too quickly. Out prefix. Oxidate, not adate. No, I'm not seeing anything. So let me just leave a decent rack leave. Wow, another vowel-heavy rack. I'll squiz through the alphabet while opponent's on turn, and I'm looking for sevens. But double I, not great. Not seeing anything so far. Could be a few eights here with the right floater. No, not seeing a 7, so floating consonant is a D. Not seeing anything with that. However, I've got a scoring tile in the P. PI is good, and PIE, so I'll certainly be playing through this. Now, Z, I have the IZE ending. Let me just put this on the board. So, patin eyes, surely. Patin eyes 470. Bang! Fantastic. And not a bad pickup. Could Vernant be good? And if it is good, does it play? I don't think it does. So I'm not seeing any other 7s. What about 8s? P doesn't look helpful. What about the A? No. Now through an E, I would have Revenant. No E available. And nothing with the T. What about the O? I've got the over prefix. No bingo. Zeal takes an S. 2 double word squares above vowels, but no 2-letter V word, so I'm not going to get great value from that. Patin eyes takes a D and an S, of which I have neither. 29 points for opponent. Does not provide a Vernon spot. DI takes nothing in front. OT not good. So what I want to do is play off V and N. So I could play Vain, which obstructs the patinized hook. Nothing goes in front of V, nothing goes after V, so column 12 not available for a big score coming down from the top. This rack leaves okay. The score for Vain is rubbish. Just wondering about a row G play. But I'm not seeing a way of playing off an N, and duplicate N is not good. Yid only takes an S. Just wondering about these 2-letter sets. IT is the only useful looking one, and I'm not seeing a bingo. I am going with this. Wow. W, K, and H. That is not how to draw to a bingo. Currently, I can get rid of all of those with Hawk. Hawk also good, but that doesn't play. My E can go underneath the P. So I have Hugh in that spot, retaining the K. Can't see anything on my rack which gets rid of all of these scoring tiles. The H is the only one of them which is bingo-y, so if Hawk is blocked, it may be worth trying to play off W and K, so I could play Uke. I lead by 30. What goes in front of YA? Now R does. but I really need another vowel to get value from that. Opponent played Yid and then Zeal, so cannot really infer anything about their rack. IT takes S and A after it. And still no D or S for patternized. Great, column 12 remains available. Loop takes a C and an S in front, so opponent may have an S. 19 points, not massive. However, what I can do is this, which completely sorts the rack out and leaves a decent rack leave. Wow, B and V, I'm really picking the high scoring tiles today. My lead, only 40 points. Now, I didn't consider it a row H play, but I didn't have one because LE not good. I do now have an I for going underneath the L. So I could play Vin or Vint. So that's the hottest spot. Nothing goes in front of Yap, so the YA with the R in front, that opportunity no longer exists. Hawk takes an S after it. I don't think it takes a Y. Now, I have the over prefix, but over bint, not good. Yeah, opponent takes that spot, not surprisingly. So what am I going to do about V and B? Well, I have verb. This doesn't score very much, only 14, but completely sorts the rack out. And I'm just not seeing anything anywhere else. Well, I could play bike for 20 points. That's only 6 more points. It retains the V, and I can't see a way of playing off the V with the K. So I am going with this. Not bad. This does look quite balanced. And yeah, the W is the only non-bingo-y tile. I could play calc in column 13. Not seeing a 7 here, very few floaters to consider. The B not useful. Nothing with the E. Coda is good, so I could have a CR play, but Crownite not good. I think Hawk may take a C in front, not sure about that. Fantastic, just 24 points. So Q takes an I after it, I've got one. Well, nothing's going to end IW. So the best I can do here is coin. 35 points, keeping the W. That's 35. This is 26 fewer points. I think these moves are close. And wow, I trail by 2, so effectively we're level. Only 4 eyes to come. If I play calc, I've kept an eye back for QI. Yeah, I'm going to take that chance. I'm only sacrificing 9 points. Nothing huge is being created in row A. Hard to get a scoring tile to the left of the C. This is a decent rack leave. I am going with this. No 7 here. No 8 with the B. Gosh, I have the letters. No, I don't. I was going to say for alimented, but I don't. So do I have a column 8 play? Can I get my M doubled? No. Wow. This looks like it's got a lot of options, but not for column 8 plays. I guess none of these consonants really go together at the beginning of a play in the way that DR does, or PL. So I'd need to use both my vowels, but even with that constraint, I'm not seeing a play. Wow. That's a shame. I guess I could play dim, just as a 3-letter play to take out the hotness from that spot. Now I do have a D for patinized. So I have wed, not leaving a good rack leave. I could play dim coming down. 29 points, so it's not a massive spot. So opponent doesn't play in column 8, provides a floater in the R and the E. Well, the E was already available, but I hadn't properly considered it. I have now. I'm not seeing a bingo. Column 1 looks the hottest. Do I have a 5-letter play? And the E needs to go next to the R. Wow, just not seeing anything good. So, what about playing minced? It's 36 points, which is decent. Turning over tiles with a blank to come. Taking out row A, not a great rack leave, but I think that was going to be difficult. And 36 points is decent. I'm going with this. And column 1, although it looks hot, isn't massively hot because a high-scoring tile can't go on this double letter square. Now, I've got a ton of vowels. So, well, which includes an I for chi. So I have male in column 8. Do I have anything ending IM? Don't think I do. Could there be a bingo here? I'm not seeing a 7. Through a P, I would have lipomata. Nothing with the D. I don't think domasial is good. What about E and R? No, not seeing anything there. I probably do have a play now in column 1. I have matai, M-A-T-A-I. What's the best in column 8? So, well, male. Yeah, and male sorts out the duplicate A. 35 points as well, so pretty decent if it remains available. And column 1 may act as a distraction for opponent, or they may not have an I. 3 I's to come. Still, quite a lot of bingo lanes on this board. Now, just 12 for opponent. Jet takes an E, so super hot spot in row K. Nothing I can do about that. Male for 35. And not a great rack. No scoring tiles. So, no bingo. No scoring tiles. I do have a D for patinized. Do I have anything coming down from the W? So I have wad, W-A-D, which also takes a T. Vor and vow are good. gosh, just not seeing anything which uses that, as in vowel W, vowel D. A's and O's can go in both those spots, but I'm not seeing anything. I have Dago and Patronize, which sorts the rack out, but doesn't leave a great rack leave, but I think that's going to be difficult with this rack. Through an N, I would have Gundar. No E for Jet A, and there are a ton of E's to come. Jet also taking an S. So what do I have in column 1? D can go next to the E. Not seeing anything. So my lead, 60 points, but that could easily vanish. 26 for opponent. Now, RE takes a G. Wow, is this the play? Dago in this spot for 19. Horrible rack leave, or rather not a great rack leave, not a great score, and I'm setting up an S lane. Albeit not an S in 7th place lane. I could play a good, which although it's sticking a vowel next to a premium square, takes out the double danger, sorts the rack out. 16 points. Let me come back up here. Oh, I think this is the play. 28 points, not setting up anything massive. I am going with this. Wow, I draw the second blank. Do I have a bingo? I have fatuous on my rack. I have fetus as a double in row K. Fantastic. That's Featous. Superb. Will that stay available? Nine minutes on opponent's clock. Oh, an opponent bingos. So the fetus spot remains available, but do I have a triple? Right, swift battery change on the camera. Back to this rack. I've got fetus in row K. Do I have a triple through this S? Let me quickly run through the alphabet. I've still got 10 minutes. Run through the alphabet for the B with this rack plus an S. And I haven't got any particular prefixes or suffixes in mind. But it will be a big score if there is a triple. So this rack plus an S. Oh wow, what about outfasts? I think I have the letters for this. Is it good? Outfasts for 149. Bang! It is good. Wow, I was going through the motions there. I had fetus for a big score. I was not expecting there to be a triple, but there was. Fantastic. And look at this ridiculously good pickup. I have Rousant and Santur. Does either play? This is insane. Well, Santowers plays in column 15. That is ridiculous. 9 tiles in the bag. Wholly unexpected to draw a bingo from the bag, of course. So do I have anything better than Santowers? Anything beginning with D? No. Anything ending in M? No. Wow. 149 points. What a beautiful sight. Pretty much guarantees the win. So I don't have an E for Jet. I do have an S for Jet. Santur doesn't play. No, it doesn't. What about a play beginning RE? Not seeing one. OR? No. Fantastic. Sand Towers remains available. 477. And I have Reglues, which is, and oh my word, yes, Reglues and Jet A. I currently have a double playable in row K. Absolutely insane. Does that play anywhere else? Looking at row N. No. Opponent's got 7 tiles. They've got a ton of ease for Jet A, so that looks like the obvious spot to play. A play of Hay. And that would block Reglues. But what else? Where else might I have a bingo? Anything beginning with E? No. GS not good. As in not a good starting pair. I don't think Reglues has an anagram. Through an A, I would have Leaguers. Now, might opponent be tempted to play anywhere else? Well, possibly. They could play Hay in column 3. 6 minutes on opponent's clock, 9 on mine. Well, they do play in the sensible spot. So, denied my triple back-to-back bingo. I do have an S for Jet A's. Opponent's got Ina on their rack, which does play in column 14, also Dien, so I could block both of those. But opponent may miss both of them, and I can get good value from the J. So what do I have? Looking to get the play doubled, which would be ESU. Not seeing anything. Or it could be ESE. Let me just see if I can see anything with this. I think I could just put an L in the front of this, and this is good. No, it's not. Okay, so how to sort this, or how to deal with the end of this game. 7 minutes, so no time pressure, but I don't really want to hang around. What about a play down from the E? I have ears for 32, which does block both of the outs I saw, but Ina does play underneath the Y. And after this, I would have glue in column 3, so I would have the hope of an out if opponent doesn't go out. I'm going with this. Over 500 points. Superb. I think it's leses, which is good as the plural of les. Rather than lese being good, which we know isn't. So, supposing opponent doesn't go out, I've got glue and org. Luge is the anagram of glue. So I may not have a second out. Okay, opponent doesn't go out. Fantastic. They miss Ina and YE. And I have glue for 14. And the final score, 358 for opponent, 533 for me, a winning margin of 175 points. So a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Always fantastic fun to get a triple. Now, here we go. This is how it began. And I missed geodata. Wow, what a miss. Okay, it just shows that luck doesn't always go to the deserving. Now, opponent's rack plays Zeal, and I have Patinize, also playable Trapezii through the Z and Pixelate through the L. So 3 bingos on offer. Patinize scores most. Opponent with the D for Patinized plays Yid. Nowhere for Vernant. D1 Tavern, that's nice. Oh wow, yes, and Vane, very much suboptimal. Opponent plays Loop. Plays Loop from this rack, does not have an S or a C. I play Hawk for 28. Could have got more by burning the E and the R, but I don't think that's worth doing. They're good tiles on my rack, and they're useful tiles on the board for opponent. So opponent would have had Rabbitine if I'd played Hawker. As it is, they don't have a bingo, and they play Bait. I play Verb for 14, but I 11, Invert and Li for 20. Verb for 14, 6-point difference, INT. Well, it may not be 6 points better than B, but it's going to be close, so I prefer my play. And Invert provides a ton of useful floaters. Opponent plays Caddy. Now, A8 Twin playable for 38. And I play Calc, keeping EINT, which is pretty decent. I think Twin is a better play. Now, opponent's rack plays Lancer, and I have Minced for 36. So I have a slender lead. Opponent with the J plays Jet. Yep, that looks fine. A8 Amy are in column 8, and that would have been better than Male because the rack lead would have been better. Opponent with a nice rack has Grossert, nowhere for it, plays Roger. And I have Dago for 28. Yeah, Ward for 1 more point, but keeping duplicate O, so I prefer my play. Now, fantastic bingo by opponent. Finites for 87 points. And I trail, but not for long, because I have Outfasts for 149, and there is Fetus, the double-double, for more than 50 fewer points, and a ton of others. Opponent plays Zoo, and here we go, insane back-to-back bingos. Win is guaranteed. Opponent plays Hay, and finally, nowhere for my reglues. L1 Orgs. Oh wow, that's nice, coming from OR and getting Jetés. Instead I play Ears. Opponent does have a few outs, doesn't play any of them. And finally, Glue for 14 is best. So, what a game. Absolutely amazing stuff. Missed bingo on the opening rack with Geodata. Nip and tuck throughout, and I'm fractionally behind moving towards the end of the game when suddenly I have Fetus and Outfasts on my rack, followed up with Sand Towers, and suddenly there's a huge gulf between myself and opponent. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.